Ooh, all right. Mike, welcome back. Yeah, you're not a guest, you're family. All right. And your family. And your family. And the two people watching, your family. All right, that's my worst Vin Diesel impression. So yeah, our Rambo marathon continues. All right, this has been fun doing this series, a little bittersweet because it's almost at an end. But don't worry, bro. I got a whole bunch of other, school is still gonna be in session, bro. So don't worry about it. I got more for you. So
Awesome.
Mike from Did You Z That is joining me today. So Mike, if you want to introduce your channel, what you got coming up, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, sure. Well, firstly, man, thank you for once again having me. It's been about a month since we last did the Rambo.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Something like that.
been
It's been that long?
it feels like it's been that long.
Okay.
Might be wrong, but yeah, man. Thanks for having me back again. I've enjoyed doing the series, enjoyed the Rocky ones previously, and now I'm just basically on a Stallone binge watch right now with yourself. So it's awesome.
Right.
But yeah, anyone who doesn't know who I am, yeah, I'm Mike. My channel is Did You See That? Yeah, I basically cover like movie reviews, a lot of Back to the Future stuff, vlog days, and I kind of go a little bits and bobs, depends on what happens. Recently on the channel, I dropped a brand new video on What If series. It's What If Johnny Depp was played Marty McFly.
Can't wait to check that one out.
Oh, bro, I thought I'd go in a different direction. I've got it where he's auditioning as Marty in the Battle of the Bands scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got Huey Lewis being a very critical judge. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll hear your feedback when you get a chance to check it out. And then today I just dropped my review for Firestarter, which I think me and Rashad's on like different ends of the fence on that one. I watched your review earlier. It was funny.
Yeah, I tried, Mike. I tried, man. I tried. I didn't drink not one drop of alcohol, and you saw I said it in the video, bro. I'm sitting with one eye like this, the other eye like this. I'm struggling, fighting to keep my eyes open. Slobs coming up my mouth. I tried, man, but the old one came on right after that, and I sat through with no problem. What did I go to show you?
Right. Yes, I still need to check out that original one because I'm going to be very interested as to the differences, of course. But of course, a lot of the time the original one's far better than the remakes.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The original is not what I would consider a masterpiece, but it's very entertaining. And when I say Little Drew Barrymore goes full Dark Phoenix / Scarlet Witch and fuck people up, yeah, that's 84's Firestarter. Yeah. And I guess that's a segue to speaking of fucking people up. Yeah, John Rambo. Well, I guess in some places it's called John Rambo, some places Rambo 4, and some places it's just Rambo. All right. So this movie dropped in 2007, a year after Rocky Balboa. So Stallone is on the comeback trail, and it's like he can't do one without doing the other. Whenever he does Rocky, he has to jump back into doing Rambo. You know what I mean? So the mullet is back for the last time. This is the last time we see Rambo with the mullet. And I gotta say off rip, bro, this may not be the best Rambo movie, but this is definitely the most violent Rambo movie you've ever seen. Like, bro, yeah. we went from trying to get something to eat and going after the police, right? Then we go from that to becoming a patriot, a super patriot that's a hero to POWs. Then we go from that to now he's taking the super soldier serum and he can take on a helicopter with a tank. And now in this one, bro, he's just full out slasher. Okay, right. He makes Freddy and Jason be like, God damn, Rambo fucked him up. You know what I mean? So this time around, he's still in Thailand. So because I believe he was in Thailand in the last movie, right? Oh, by the way, directed by Stone as well. So he's in Thailand. Once again, minding his own business, not bothering nobody. He's capturing cobras and, selling them. He's just living a simple, peaceful life. These missionaries come into the picture. These, this Christian missionary group, they want to go to, what's it called, Burma, to help out the indigenous people over there. They're going through a bad time with the military. And, so they come in there with their Bibles and their prayers and, which is nothing wrong with Bibles and prayer, but when you're talking about going to a war zone, okay, you're not. So, for example, here, you're not going to go into Compton with a bunch of Bibles and shit and say, hey, kumbaya. You're going to get shot, all right? There's a time and a place for everything. So that's pretty much Rambo in a nutshell. They come there, they ask him to take him over there. He warns them, no, not a good idea. I tell you what I know. I'm gonna let you get into it. I know you got something to say about some of these characters, and that's pretty much it. They get him involved, and then that's when the whole macabre starts. Did I pretty much summarize that up pretty good?
To a T.
All right, so Mike, let us know what you think about Rambo or John Rambo or Rambo 4.
Right, yeah. So, well, I was going to say, so for anyone that's unfamiliar right now or like hasn't tuned into our Rambo streams previously, and this is your first one, so my introduction to the Rambo character was this movie. So before Richard got me onto these movies, I'd only ever seen them 4 and then 5, and that was it. So when I watched this movie back when, because I remember when I first checked this out, I used to work at a DVD store, and I saw the cover and I was like, "Wow, this looks pretty awesome." I was like, it was like £1, which is like what, $1.50 at the time. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get it. I'll check it out. If it's no good, it'll go in the bin." And yeah, I checked it out and I was like, this is just a gore fest. I was like, I'm on board.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah.
Right. Exactly that. Yeah. And we'll get into that for sure. But yeah, so it was fun rechecking this one out because it's been like 10, 11 years since I last seen it. And now I've obviously got the backstory of John Rambo before going into this one, so I look at it at like a different perspective. And yeah, I had a good time with it. I will admit, like the first 36 to 40 minutes, nothing really happened. But then after that, it's just like, you come for the shootout, you come for the blood, the guts. That's what you get.
Right.
But yeah, bro, like I think this is Stallone's first movie he directed besides the Rocky movies. And
I think, well,
because did he direct the other Rambo? He didn't direct the other Rambos, right?
Well, this is the first Rambo movie he directed. Yeah, so he directed this one, and I believe he directed Last Blood as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I have to look into that. Yeah, but yeah, this is the first Rambo movie that he directed. Yeah,
right. So I guess like this time round, no one was at the helm to be like, right, this is the structure. We're going to follow these movies. He was like, nah.
Yeah, and bro, and real quick, I think it was also the precursor to the Expendables. Because the Expendables dropped like a couple of years after did. I don't know if did you see the Expendables?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see the Expendables all over this, from just the color palette, like the CG blood, you know what I'm saying? Like Stallone, I guess when he made this, he says, you know what? I want to do something. I want to do more shit like this. Let me call like all the old has-beens from the 80s and put together like the Avengers of 80s action. And there you go, the Expendables.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, kind of just round out the question, really. So I said I enjoyed the movie. Definitely, I agree with you. Definitely not the best one by far. In terms of the best one, in terms of the gore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, in spades. And like, when he, like you said, the first like 30 or 40 minutes, like nothing really goes down, like except for him warning them, like, look, this is not a good idea. And the one chick, I don't know her name, I don't care to know her name. But she comes in with her husband, and they're both like begging him, like, hey, don't you care about anything? Like, we're going to help these people. Like, don't you care? And he's like, it's not that I don't care. Like, that's a war zone. I am telling you, like, I live here. You don't. You're coming from, the United States, where you probably live in the suburbs or something. You know what I'm saying? Where you get to walk your dog every morning. Everything's peaceful. You got trick-or-treaters coming to your house. No, these people here are fucking murderous savages, and they don't play around. And so when he dropped his first few people, this is the first part that pissed me off, Mike. When they were about to take the girl and like do whatever they wanted to do with her, they was like, yo, put the girl on the boat when they came across the pirates. And Rambo dropped all 5 of them. Bah, 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 bah. I was like, yeah. Her husband, no, you don't do that. You don't decide who lives or dies. And remember, he jacked his ass up. Like, man, they were going to take her. They were going to rape her 10 times over. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right. I agree.
Yeah, I hated that couple. If anybody was to die, I wanted it to be them, that couple.
Yeah.
Hated them.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is as well, and that's before we get to that scene, and you mentioned that, he's just working on these, managing the Cobras, and then, these missionaries come. Like, you don't even know that they're married. these couples. Like you see Rambo eyeing up this chick, Sarah, and he's just like, oh, I haven't had any in a while.
Okay, you got that vibe too, right? I was like, yeah, Rambo. Right. Yeah, Rambo kind of had a thing for her, man. I think that's the only reason why he did it, because he was kind of giving her the fuck me eyes a little bit, kind of like Beauty and the Beast.
Right. And then on the boat scene, when like Michael said to her, he's like, "Oh, we're married," he was like, "That's good."
yeah. She was like, "Yeah, he's a good man." Well, that's good. So,
and then he knew he wasn't getting in the pants that night.
but Mike, if he really wanted to now, because at the end of the day, man, it's women are attracted to the alphas. You know what I'm saying? They're attracted to an alpha male. Alpha, and this dude is a little bitch. If he really wanted to, if Rambo really wanted to, he could have took her. No question, especially after he saved her. He saved the day, and there was that seemed like it was like the longest shot in the world. He's sitting there holding his shoulder, and he's looking at everybody, right? They're like looking back at him. He's looking back at them, and then they kind of wave to him. He's just like looking like, if I wanted to, I could have took your bitch. But so I'm gonna let y'all go back home, but just know I could have had her if I wanted to.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed it straight away. I mean, like when the guy missionary Michael was talking to him, he had no interest whatsoever, but he kept giving her like the fuck me eyes,
Right.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. Like, I hate both of them characters, especially the man, because like one thing that didn't make sense, right, is when she convinces him to go onto the boat,
right?
Like they're talking amongst each other. They're talking about the schedule, and he's at the back managing the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, they're talking, and then he's saying to her, "Oh, we should just give him his space."
Yeah.
I'm like, the boat's small. He can hear everything you see, and it's not as if you're on like a cruise ship and he's got his space.
Right.
I was like, you've got like 2 feet between you. What space can he have?
Mike, because he recognizes that you're dealing with the alpha. Okay.
Right.
And when you see the fact that another man is threatening your shit with your lady, he felt threatened clearly.
Right.
Because Rambo at any moment could have just took him and just like filleted him, and there was nothing he could do about it.
Bro. Yeah, I agree. No, that pirate scene as well, just to quickly touch on what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I agree when he's just like, no, we don't kill. I'm just like, I'm like, these pirates aren't going to take her to the island for themselves to be like, we'll take her to go pray for people.
Right? Yeah, we're not taking her there for margaritas and and intellectual conversation. No, we're taking her there to violate her. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah. Right. So he drops him off, and I think Rambo had to have known like this was gonna end bad. Because when he came back and they had that little I guess you call it like a little montage, like a little flashback scene where they would flashback into all the different Rambo movies, and the pastor comes and wakes him up, which I'm like, wow, so now the pastor gets involved, like, hey, the crew never made it back. And he was pretty much like, okay, I know, like, what happened. He's like, yeah, they never came back, and yada yada yada, and we need you to help, bring them. I'm like, because he told you, he warned y'all. Why don't people ever listen to Rambo, man? So now they're sending these group of mercenaries, right? This annoying group of mercenaries where nobody's likable, okay? Right. And they were all like really disposable. Like their purpose was, I guess Rambo couldn't go there and do it himself, so he needed a ragtag group of soldiers to just be bodies, you know what I mean? So they go in there, and I'm like, all of this could have been avoided if they would have just listened to the man. Just listen to the man. But no, you so hell-bent on, we have to make a change in the world. And, okay, that whole speech that he gave to her, right, when he was saying that, people, it's in our blood, it's in our DNA to be animals, you know what I'm saying? People are wicked. The world is wicked, you know what I'm saying? You believe in that you can go make a difference. It's not going to change anything. It's still going to. So it sounds kind of harsh and negative, but that's the way of the world, Mike. There are some places that are irredeemable, and that's one of them. So what the hell did she think was going to happen?
Right.
I felt him on that. I felt him on that. Like it sounds
Yeah,
harsh, but it was real. You know, he was
I
being
agree.
real with it. Yeah.
I agree. No, I completely agree. Yeah. Just to very quickly touch on the flashback that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the flashback before the montage of the previous Rambo movies, I think we
Mm-hmm.
get a very quick flashback of him killing the people on the boat as well.
On the
I
boat. Oh
think,
yeah. We do. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And when that happened, I was like, we've just seen that 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, it's a short term memory. Short term. It was like, he just literally. I mean, think about it, Mike. So you did some shit 30 years ago. You gonna think about that, but if you just killed 5 motherfuckers 10 minutes ago, that's fresh in your brain. Like, hold up, I just shot and killed like 6 people, man.
Right.
but to
So,
Rambo is easy because remember he said when you're what do you say when you're pushed to a corner, killing is easy as breathing. I said, ooh. That's
right.
hard. That's hard. As easy as breathing. So just like you could, that's how easy it is to take somebody out.
Right. Right. And
Man.
I think that's definitely true, especially in the first Rambo movie
Yeah.
when he's stalking him in the woods, and then he actually gets like the main villain at that point and says to him,
Mm-hmm.
if you do this, I'm going to kill you. Like in that
Right.
split second, that analogy comes in perfectly.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Oh, you talking about when he had the knife to his throat and he was like, yo, back off. I'm going to give you a war like you've never seen.
yeah, came out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Mm-hmm. No,
Itself.
that's true. That's true. And, it is funny because the whole time, like every time somebody tries him, like, okay, when that mercenary group came, right, and the leader guy, he was like, big bad talking shit. And you could tell Rambo was looking at him like, bro, you have no idea who you're talking to right now. Like he had a Walter White moment, like, who are you talking to right now?
Right.
Who is it that you think you see? and I love that moment where he was like, he said, we're gonna go, do whatever. And Rambo took that bow and arrow and stuck it right like by his eye. And he's like, you're going nowhere. You said, you're gonna sit your ass down here or I will fucking end you. And the point is like right at his eye. And I'm like, y'all better stop fucking with this guy. Stop, like, what? Like, can you explain to me, like, okay, I understand people are suicidal, but it's like you can't find a building to jump off of. Okay, let's just go to Rambo and fuck with him. Like people continue to fuck with this guy. Yeah.
Right. Well, one thing that made me laugh about that scene with that mercenary. Well, firstly, is it just me, or did he give just me vibes of being like a Vinnie Jones knockoff?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Right. That's a good comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, another stupid thing about that boat scene with the mercenaries as well. One look at Rambo, right? He's got the long locks. He's got the headband on in this movie. He's built like a brick shit house. He's not just an average boat driver who's like a skinny 60-pound guy or something. You're not going to beat to him. You stay in the boat.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, did you see his forearms? His forearms were like Popeye, man. Are you serious? I don't understand, man. But for some reason, people just love to fuck with this guy. And okay, so let's get to the villain of the movie. I forgot the guy's name, but even though we don't see a whole lot of him, and he probably has like almost no lines in the movie, but he has got to be one of the most despicable, like nastiest people I've ever seen in a movie without even saying much. Like this guy was just like he was going to these villages and he's taking these boys away from their moms and forced them to be soldiers.
Right.
And taking the girls and violating the girls, and then come to find out he messes with little boys too.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Because I had to rewind. I said, hold up, why is it? Oh, that's what we're doing. Right. I said, okay, that's what we're doing. Yeah, that guy was despicable, man. So as far as Rambo villains, he's got to be one of the worst ones, man, because he was just a despicable human being.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think he was kind of given the meaning to the story because, as you mentioned, he didn't have to even say a single word. But in that first 40 minutes, when we said nothing really happens, the only thing that does happen is him establishing that he is in the place where I can't remember the place name, but that place where everything's going on again. I forgot the name.
It's about Burma. Yeah, Burma. Yeah,
Burma. That's the one. But in that 40 minutes.
Oh, Perez, what up there, bro?
Perez, how's it going?
May the force be with you.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, you know, I agree. So like, in that first 40 minutes is even that one single scene where he's just flat out just shooting people in the head. You know, just you know, as they invade Burma kind of thing and go through them camps. From that moment, you're like, right, this guy's not to be messed with.
Right.
And, you know, no one's going to, like, none of his army's going to betray him.
Yeah, he was a savage, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I actually enjoyed his villain arc. Again, he didn't say much, but I don't think, like, he needed to.
Yeah, he just had that presence.
But it's kind of like the same as Rocky IV in a sense. Like, you know, Dolph Lundgren's character, Ivan Drago, he didn't say any dialogue, but he's a menacing threat. And I think sometimes the villain doesn't have to have, like you mentioned in your Firestarter review, it's all dialogue, but it goes to like these kind of older movies that don't have a lot of dialogue or hardly none, but they can still be a menacing threat and like a memorable villain.
Facts, yeah, facts. And the scene also, if you remember, there was like I guess where they had where Rambo and the mercenaries, they were coming to, I guess, sneak into the village to rescue the prisoners, and there was a whole scene where they had these girls on stage, and like there was like the dudes in the crowd was like throwing shit at them and, you know, and just violating them. And then you see him in the room with the little boy. And I'm like, these people are fucking, yeah, they are the worst of the worst. Like, I'm like, are there human beings in this world that are actually like this? You know what I mean? Just very nasty. But because of that, you couldn't wait for Rambo to fuck them up. And you knew it was coming. But at the same time, I want the rest of these characters to die and just leave Rambo, you know, because there's no other likable character in this movie. Zero. I mean, if you can think of some, let me know.
None.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, man, if you were to do a You Ain't Shit and all of these characters, you'd have a year's worth of content.
Yeah, well, especially what was the wife, the chick, what's her name?
Sarah.
Sarah, yes, Sarah. She worked my last nerve. Right. She worked my last nerve because she's okay, and she knows she's a female, so women know when dudes are attracted to them. So okay, she knows, okay, my husband can't get to him, so let me bat my eyes at him and, you know, probably show a little cleavage or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being sexist. I'm not. This is true. Women know when you look at him a certain way, and she knew that all she got to do was bat her eyes at Rambo, and he'll be like, all right, well, I guess I gotta take you. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, but I know this is gonna end bad. But you know what? Fuck it. You know,
it's true.
She knew, yeah. And then when she gets captured, now she wants to be all scared, and now she's the damsel in distress. No, you knew what was coming. The man warned you. I can't say that enough.
Right. He warns her in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Right. So all that goes on. So now, I mean, like you said, there's not a whole lot to this movie. It's just straight up, you know, the missionaries come, Rambo takes us to this place. They get captured. Rambo comes back with this ragtag crew, and now all-out war breaks out. So, we can almost spend forever talking about this last act, because the last act was what you come to see. Like, the rest of the stuff is like, okay, you know, Rambo, you know, chop a couple of people down, shoot a couple of people. You know, he fucked a few people up with the arrow. But, bro, that third act, Mike, some of the best Rambo action you'll ever see.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, when he got on that damn truck, man, and not only was people getting shot, Mike, but they were like getting dismembered. Like, you saw parts flying all over the place, man. Like, bodies doing shit that bodies ain't supposed to do. You know, so what's your thoughts on that third act of the movie, man?
You know, man, I'm going to go out on a whim and just say that I think that third act, just that war battle scene when all the armies come in and he and his ragtag crew of mercenaries start fighting, it's got to be one of the best action, bloody, goriest scene I've seen in an action movie ever.
What? Did not play around. He did not play around. And you can hear, like, even when the bullets are like chopping through them, you can hear like the bullets like just cutting through the flesh and the bones. And I'm like, did the MPAA like approve? Like, they approve this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mike, they won't even approve Jason putting a knife through somebody, but Rambo can cut motherfuckers down, and you know.
Right. Right.
But I'm glad we got it, because it was some entertaining shit.
I agree. I would even say if the first kind of 40 to an hour of this movie, because it's about like the last half an hour when this all goes down.
Right.
If that wasn't as like bloody and gory, and like say it was like kind of like the same kind of style of Rambo kills as the first 3 movies, I think this movie would have been a bomb. I really do. I think because it's got that blood and gore, they're like especially like yourself, for example, who probably seen this initially when it came out, you're thinking, wow, Rambo's to like another level right now compared to like we just saw tame Rambo before. Now we've got this guy, Mortal Kombat Rambo.
He's a slasher. Well, no, he doesn't become Mortal Kombat Rambo until the last one. So Last Blood, he becomes a Mortal Kombat character. This one, he's just a straight up slasher, bro. Like, he just doesn't care, man.
Right.
Like, but that because this has like none of the style and the how can I put it, man? It just didn't have the same kind of charm as like the first 2 movies. Definitely eclipsed the third movie, but those first 2 movies was so special. Another thing that made those movies special was the score. And this movie, the score was really
nothing.
Score wasn't all that. But we did have that classic Rambo score when he came up from behind. Now when the lead guy was getting away and Rambo caught him and he like gutted him. And that's when that and I got chills watching that part. I said, yo, now this really feels like a Rambo movie because we finally got that Jerry Goldsmith theme. Oh, we got a question here from Perez. Who else would you cast as Rambo if Sly wasn't? Nobody. Nobody can replace Sly as Rambo. Nobody can replace Sly as Rocky. That's it, and that's all. Mike.
Right. I would say if we had to pick one person to replace Sly as Rambo, Schwarzenegger.
What?
I think just purely because of Predator. And
you talking about if we're back in the day?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Like if they were making Rambo the first movie and Stallone didn't make that movie or he wasn't part of it, I think it'd only be Schwarzenegger who could maybe pull that off. Obviously it'd be a bit harder because obviously it's set in America and obviously he's from Austria, so he proved that in other movies, but I don't think Schwarzenegger could have pulled off this movie though. Just with how bloody and gory it is, I don't think he could do it.
Oh, wait. Well, you've never seen Commando?
No, I haven't. No, I've seen.
Yeah, if you watch Commando, you'll easily change your mind. All right, because the violence in Commando, especially if you can find the unrated version, the violence in Commando kind of rivals this movie. Yeah, Commando was another one of those really violent, super violent movies. Yeah, Arnold was like a super soldier, killing machine in that movie.
Right, I'm gonna have to find the version.
Oh yeah, definitely. But so if we're back in the day, and at the time they had a few people considered for Rambo at the time. I believe Richard Gere was in line to play Rambo at one point.
Really?
I think Kurt Russell was considered for Rambo at one point. It was a few big names I was considered for the role. And I think a few of them even turned it down. I think even Clint Eastwood, if I'm not mistaken, you can look it up. I believe Clint Eastwood was even considered as Rambo. He turned it down. He didn't want to do it. Wow. So Sly was like a last minute replacement because nobody else wanted to do the movie. Yeah, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, if you could only have one series and get rid of the other, you ain't doing that to me. That's almost like asking you who you prefer, 3PO or R2. You can't choose one without the other one.
I don't think you could because they're two complete different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as if he's done like two separate Rocky series. But you know what I mean. Like it's not as if it's like Rocky and then just another term for Rocky.
Well, if I could be honest, Mike and Perez, if I really had to choose, I think y'all know, I would choose Rocky. If you put a gun to my head and said, choose one, Rocky or Rambo, I say Rocky. just because Rocky,
Right.
that movie, that series, even the worst movie, which is 5, that series just gets me in my feels, man. Like every single one of them I watched makes me just like my eyes are shrunk wrapped with tears, bro. You know what I mean? Those movies
Right.
just get to me. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Number 3's awesome as well. Like
Yeah.
the first 4 Rocky movies are memorable. But the sixth one's good as well. But then, obviously 5 fell flat.
Yeah, well, even 5, okay, even 5, where he goes into the gym and he's drunk and he has that flashback of
Right.
Mickey, and then that
Yeah.
Bill Conti music kicks in. I just like every time I watch that, he's like, "Get up, you son of a bitch," because Mickey loves you. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, damn, I miss Mickey, man. Like, I'm a sensitive dude, man. So yeah, shit like that gets to me, Even Rocky Balboa, the whole like with Adrian being dead and Paulie was like, ribbing him, like, man, you mad because Adrian left you? She didn't leave, Paulie. She died. Okay, Rock. Okay. Oh, gets me every time, man. So yeah, I would have to choose Rocky. Rambo. The only Rambo movie ever got me in my feelings was that first one because you felt sorry for him at the end when he had that breakdown.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get in my feelings with this one though. This one, I just felt like this dude is fucking badass, man. This dude is so badass. Like he gives Freddy nightmares, man. Like when he creeped up on the one guy, man, where he was standing behind, like, at first it was like kind of blurry, but then he came into focus and he just decapitated him with one shot. Oh,
right.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That was so good, man.
But
And,
one thing I wanted to actually, sorry to interrupt, one quick thing I wanted to ask you about though, and I took a screenshot on mine as well, just in case I got the subtitles wrong. But there's a point where that chick Sarah, and I think one of the mercenaries, he got like the sniper, and they're up on the hills or whatever, and she's got a bad leg or whatever happened, and then all you see coming out from running out the trees, all them soldiers, right?
Oh yeah.
And then I had to pause it because I'm pretty sure the guy was like, "It's the Karen soldiers."
Oh yeah, they did call them Karen soldiers, yeah.
Right. I was like, Karens existed back in 2008.
I thought about it too. I said, wait a minute. I said, no, it can't be because this movie's too old for that. I said that can't be what they're talking about. But it kind of fits though,
Right.
Yeah, right. Karen soldiers. We got Blacktastic in the house. Blacktastic, what's up, bro? I sent you a clip on Instagram dedicated to Rocky 3. Okay, I gotta watch that. Well, you're laughing, so hey, I hope it wasn't making fun of it now, because that's my favorite movie ever. Right. So tread lightly. Yeah. Cool. So we have this big ass climax, okay, and even your boy kind of had an arc, the husband, because at first his whole thing was, we don't decide who lives and dies, we don't kill. And he took somebody out. He took a rock and just went straight up, just caveman on him,
Right.
And so we have this whole scene. It's all over with. Like I say, he's standing there holding his shoulder, giving the chick the look like, if I wanted you, I could take you, but I'm gonna let you keep your dude. And he goes home. So I guess, what's the name? Sarah, right? What was the name? Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Sarah did serve a purpose because she kind of, put it in his head like, okay, maybe you should go home, go see what's going on with the family. And we see that last shot of him walking back to the farm and roll credits. So what did you think about the end? Do you think it ended properly, like, with him going home like that, or maybe he should have just stayed in Thailand?
No, get out of Thailand while you can. Because I was thinking, if he goes back to this ranch, it's the only place ever no one's going to come for him, know, because they're not going to think he's at his dad's, because they imply it's his dad's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess I agree with you. I guess in a sense she serves a purpose, but at the same time, just like, no, she didn't.
Right.
Like, he could have maybe come. Imagine if in Thailand, right? He had like a bag of just like old belongings and old photographs. It would have been better if he went through that, this chick wasn't in it, and he saw this photograph, and that's how he got to the end. He thought, I'm going to go home. This memory means a lot to me, But yeah, I don't know. Like the ending was awesome. Like I love the shootout. But that Michael guy, I'm like, well, at the beginning of the movie, when them pirates are threatening his wife, it was like, no, 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 we're not supposed to kill. And then he decides,
Right.
oh, well, actually, yeah, let's kill. I'm just like, your whole mission is contradiction right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because you go in there with your Bible and your prayers and stuff. But look, I guess like Rambo said, when you're pushed into a corner, killing is as easy as breathing. So I guess that just goes to
Right,
show that human instinct of, if you're put in a situation where you have to defend yourself, you are gonna fuck somebody up if you absolutely have to. I mean,
right.
I don't mean to sound sacrilege, but hell, even Jesus had to get raw sometimes, man. When Jesus saw people trying to go up in the church and gamble, he got a whip and started whipping people asses. Okay.
Right,
And
right,
this is supposed to be God in the flesh. And Jesus got mad. He started whooping people asses, man. So look,
right,
it's human nature, you know.
right. Yeah, definitely.
But
Definitely.
yeah. But yeah, I think the ending was, I guess, fitting to the character somewhat. But then again, I'm thinking to myself, if you look back at these movies, he's been betrayed by his own country twice. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
In the first
right,
movie, what happened to him? Like, all this man wanted was something to eat, and they wouldn't leave him alone. He was defending himself, and he goes to prison. Okay.
right,
Second movie, okay, you can get out of prison, but only way you get out of prison is you have to do this mission for your country, which come to find out was a scam, and they left him there to die in Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? So he
right.
gets betrayed not once but twice. So when he goes
Mhm.
to Thailand, look, I have no reason to come back to the States, man. Y'all fucked me over twice. You send me to this war that was bullshit, and then you arrest me for defending myself. Then you send me back to the goddamn war just to leave me there. I'm out.
Right.
I'm never going back. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I love the fact that he wanted to go get something to eat, and that spawned 5 movies.
Yeah. Mike, all the man wanted was a sandwich. That's
Right,
all he wanted was a turkey sandwich on rye.
right,
And here we go, years later,
right.
let's see, what's Perez? Stallone has said he wants a Rambo prequel film on streaming. What do y'all think about that? Only way I would approve, even though who gives a damn if I approve of anything, but only way I would approve is if it's animated. But you can't cast nobody else as Rambo. That just doesn't. This,
Right.
you know,
I think it'd be tough to do a prequel though, because the thing is, if they do the prequel, he's old now. They'd
mhm.
have to have some major de-aging technology, or like the Mandalorian. They got like Luke Skywalker or someone who looked, or like Sebastian Stan. Was it Sebastian Stan? I think the first time.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan. Yeah.
Yeah, and they put the de-aging on him, and obviously it
Hmm.
wasn't perfect, but it was quite close. I
Right.
think that's the only way they're going to be able to do a prequel, because now they would need some major de-aging on him to
Yeah.
as a prequel.
I mean, with shit, even this time around, like, is it me or did that mullet look kind of weird on him? I guess because his face is kind of old, but he still
Right,
has like jet black hair, like no
right.
gray or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it almost looks like he put on a wig, like like Gene Simmons. How Gene
Yeah.
Simmons has that wig that always looks weird on him. He was giving me Gene Simmons vibes, man.
Right, right. I agree.
um, let's see. Oh, it wasn't Sebastian Stan. Oh, it looked
Oh,
like him.
I thought
Damn.
I thought it was him the first time, but then the second time in like Book of Boba Fett, it was actually Mark Hamill. Oh well, I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Oh well. Thank you. We had our facts mixed up. Rocky, Rambo, Indiana Jones are off limits. Facts. You
Right.
cannot recast any of those.
No.
Just don't do it. Don't do it. A prequel of Rambo will be tough because of exactly. Like you can't. If you're talking about a prequel and casting a young Rambo, that's just not possible.
Right.
Kind of like with Conan the Barbarian, man. When they tried to remake Conan the Barbarian with Jason Momoa, and it was just a crock of shit.
Yes, I remember that. Sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger is Conan. You cannot replace Conan the Barbarian. You can't do
Right.
it.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Have they announced a Rambo 6?
Not that I know of. I think that was the last one. I think that is it. Like when he went
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, I think that was Stallone's gracefully bowing out, giving us one last crazy Rambo kill, man. Because
Right.
well, I'll say that story for the stream. But yeah, nah, I think Rambo should be done. Rocky should be done. You know, maybe appear in Creed 3 because Creed 3 I think drops this year. But yeah, just leave those characters the fuck alone.
Well, didn't he say he's not going to be in Creed 3?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Stupid.
Well, maybe have him at least come back and like archive footage or something, like kind of like Burgess Meredith in 5, you know.
Right.
Oh, Rocky. Yeah, Rocky's the better overall character.
Yeah. Yeah, Rocky's got more of an emotional story to him. But obviously the first Rambo, but besides that, all the Rocky movies, you care about Rocky. And
he's more relatable, yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. You know, obviously he's got the emotional attachment with Apollo in number 3, then in number 4.
Yeah, well. and Rocky's just so lovable too, man. Like he's relatable, he's lovable, and Rocky, like he loves almost everybody, man. It's very hard to be enemies with him unless you're a loudmouth that wants to get him in the ring and beat his ass. But other than that, it's impossible to dislike Rocky. You know what I'm saying? He's just such a lovable dude, man. You can just sit there and just have a beer with him, just chilling. Like, so Rock, man, take us back to when you fought Clubber Lang. Hey, yo, Clubber Lang, you had a big mouth. You know, I had to take him out a little bit, and you know what I mean. But Rambo, on the other hand, is like a lion. You know, Rambo, like sitting next to Rambo is like sitting next to a fucking lion and just being unpredictable and not knowing what the fuck he's gonna do to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll be scared sitting next to Rambo.
Yeah, I agree with Rocky as well. Like you said, definitely like more relatable. Like, you know, it's just a guy boxing at the end of the day. Like, if we wanted to, we could take up boxing. Whereas on the other hand, with Rambo, we're not going to go into the woods and stalk our enemy, you know?
Listen, if you go in the woods and Rambo is hunting you, you're done. You're going to be, you're going to be a coat or dinner, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not coming out alive if Rambo hunts you in the woods. It's just not happening.
Nah.
Yeah. So, okay, so you said you did agree with the ending, how it ended with him going to the house, right?
Yeah, I quite like the ending where he sees the sign and then it's just kind of like 2 minutes of him just walking down that massive hill,
right,
whatever it was. Yeah, I thought it was quite like a satisfying ending. I'm very intrigued to watch the 5th one again because I've only seen that when it was in the cinemas. I only remember bits and pieces of it. And obviously, I know he's got like the farmland, so I guess it picks up from that ending. But obviously, I might be wrong. I haven't seen it in so long. But if they were just to end it there, I think it would have been a satisfying ending to an extent because we're like, right, he's been found somewhere he can just live out the rest of his days in peace, not have to go to some war zone and have to kill or risk his life again, you know?
Well, I think that was the original plan. I think originally he wanted to end it at the 4th one, but then of course, you know, he came out of retirement to do Creed, and like once he gets in Rocky mode, Rambo is not too far behind. So it's like he can't do Rocky without revisiting Rambo. So he says, you know what, I think I have one last Rambo in me. I think I have one more. And it happened. It was a thing. It happened, and yeah, we're gonna talk about that in detail in a few weeks. But yeah, he did originally plan to end it with that 4th one.
It makes sense. You know what it is, Rashad? I wouldn't be surprised if we get a 6th Rambo movie. Because as soon as Creed comes out and he's not going to be in Creed, it's going to be like, oh shit, here's another Rocky movie. Let's do Rambo.
Right. Yeah, well, hopefully not, Mike, because at this point in the game, now mind you, if he does a Rambo 6, I will watch it. Okay, I don't care if Rambo's in a wheelchair and you can barely lift the gun up, I'll still watch it. But
right.
Don't like it ended perfectly. Just leave it be. Just leave it alone.
Right.
I think Rocky wrapped up perfectly. Rambo wrapped up perfectly.
I agree. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's this year or next year, but Expendables 4.
Yeah.
So he's going to be in that. I know of. So again, it's kind of like bringing him back into the limelight again. And then once he gets a taste of Expendables, he'd be like, "Oh, Rambo!"
Yeah. That's another way. Yeah, when he plays Barney Ross, it's like, "Yo, you know what? If Barney Ross could still do this, I could still do Rambo."
Right.
Sly, you're almost 80 years old, man. Like, stop doing this to yourself. This man's had to have broken every bone in his body. Like,
Right.
I know you heard the story when he did Expendables 1. He got, like, him and Stone Cold Steve Austin had a fight, and Stone Cold, like, broke the man's neck.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. They had an on-screen fight, and Sly's telling, Stone Cold, like, to make the fight look real, I want you to really, like, throw me around. And Stone Cold did what he told him to do, and he messed his neck up. He had to go get surgery on his neck.
Shit.
Yeah, he
No,
almost paralyzed him. Yeah. And afterwards, Stone Cold was like, I tell you what, that damn Sly, that's a tough son bitch. He told me to hit him, I hit him, and man, that Sly's tough. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah. Is it just me, or does Stallone love a hospital trip? If it's not Rocky 4, it's Expendables.
Well, he's crazy, man. The guy,
right.
he just goes above and beyond to make the fight, realistic and memorable, which is good for the audience because we always remember it. But man, dude, like, you're gonna kill yourself.
Right.
I mean, between him and Jackie Chan, I don't know who's crazier. That's Steve Austin impression.
Yeah.
You gotta catch me after a few drinks, man. I can do a really good Stone Cold.
Well, I was gonna say, are you embracing your Stone Cold day? You've got a WrestleMania shirt on.
Oh yeah. WrestleMania 7, I believe this is. Yeah.
Ultimate
Warrior and Randy Savage. That was a good WrestleMania.
Right.
That's the only reason I still keep Peacock, man, because Peacock has all the WrestleManias, so that's the only reason why I keep it. Because I like to go back and watch some of the old ones. You know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you kept Firestarter.
What's that?
I thought you kept Peacock for Firestarter.
Excuse me? Nah. Fuck out of here. No. That movie was a struggle to get through. I'm surprised you ain't fall asleep, man. That movie was a struggle to get through, bro.
There was a point where I was like that. I will admit, but
yeah, because like the way I was, like you would think I was drunk. If you would have saw me, you'd have been like, Rashad been drinking. No, I was sober as a judge, but that movie just put me to fucking sleep, man. I couldn't hang with it.
Right.
So all right, so wrap it up, John Rambo, bro. I give it if I give it a grade, I give Rambo, I would give it a B. I'll give it a solid B. You know what I'm saying? Not the greatest movie in the world, but man, the kills was like second to none, bro. Rambo did not fuck around this movie, man. He has nothing to play with.
Right. Yeah. You know, I'm going to agree with your rating because I think the kills, as you said, like that's what stands out in this movie. That's what you come to this movie for.
Mm-hmm.
If it was the case, as I said earlier, where the first hour of this movie is what we get, and then the last half hour is just kind of like the traditional Rambo kills.
Right.
I think probably you're looking like a C, maybe C- movie.
Mm-hmm.
But because of those kills in this, and he just went all out. Super serious mode after number 3.
Oh.
Yeah, B.
Yeah. That 3. Oh god, yeah. I don't want to go back to 3 again. That 3. Well, you could tell 3. He was really trying hard to keep up with Arnold. Like even with his appearance, like I think if you look at all the Rambo movies, he was his biggest in 3. And at the time, him and Arnold were like, their rivalry was crazy. So of course, Arnold's like this big, gigantic, monstrosity of a man. And so Sly's like, fuck. Now I gotta get my shit up. Okay, so let me pump these steroids, lift some weights. Okay, Arnold, I'm about as big as you now. Arnold's like, oh, Sly, stop. There's even a scene in you remember that movie Twins? You ever see Twins with Arnold and Danny DeVito?
I love that movie.
Yeah, okay. Well, so remember the scene where Arnold was walking by, he saw the Rambo 3 cutout,
right?
And then he looked at right. He says.
Yeah,
that was some savage shit, man.
Right.
Oh shoot. All right. Well, look, I guess that's all there is to say about John Rambo, man. Wasn't not a whole lot to say about it, but let the bodies hit the floor. That's the best way I can summarize it.
Right.
Yeah.
I would even say to anyone who's watching now and hasn't seen like any Rambo movies, and you've obviously just come in for spoilers, you can even watch this movie without having to watch the first 3. Because it could be generally like a standalone, apart from like the flashbacks, like that one flashback montage.
Right.
Besides that, you don't need to have seen the first 3 movies.
You know what? I think that goes for like all of them, bro. Because I think I watched I believe I watched 2 before I watched 1. And even as a kid watching 2, I wasn't really that confused because each of them, that's a good point, Mike, because each of them was like its own thing, so there's really no continuity where you have to be like, well, okay, well, if you've seen this one, you would know about it now because everyone's like its own shit. So yeah, that's a good point right there. Cool. Definitely, like whereas with the Rocky movies, like, yeah, well, you have to watch 1 to understand, 2, and you have to watch 2 to understand 3. But of course, Stallone, underestimating his audience with every Rocky movie, he always puts like the last bit of the previous movie, like previously on Rocky,
right, right.
like it's a TV episode or something.
Right.
All right, so so I guess that wraps up our Rambo review. So any last words about the movie that you want to, any criticisms or highlights or goofs or whatever?
No, bro, I think we've pretty much covered it. I think we both agree that the last part of the movie saves the movie. But besides that, every character bar Rambo is just shit.
Yeah,
they ain't shit. But in your words, they ain't shit.
Yeah, they ain't shit. Yeah, all of them. Like it's that would be like a 20-minute video just on them alone. Like everybody was a piece of shit in this movie. Besides, like, if Rambo would have fucking just Thanos everybody in this movie, he was like the last one standing, I would not be mad.
Nah.
Yeah. All right. So before you head out, man, go ahead, plug your channel in again for anybody that might have missed it in the beginning, what you got coming up and all that good stuff.
Sure, yeah. Well, firstly, man, thank you so much for having me on again. And it's been way too long since we last did the last Rambo. Right. I'm excited to see the 5th one again, being honest with you. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, so over on my channel this week, I've done the What If Johnny Depp Was Marty McFly video as part of this Back to the Future casting series I'm doing. I dropped a review for Firestarter today, Rashad's favorite movie of 2022.
Shit.
Right. And then next week, in terms of coming up on the channel, every Thursday I do a weekly live stream now where I gather like different YouTubers. Like each week we just talk about anything and everything. On Saturday, which is going to be awesome because last week Rashad and Perez were a guest on my Cinema Horror Stories live stream series.
That was fun.
Which was a great time. This week on Saturday, I've got Blacktastic and Q reviews on. So
that's gonna be good.
that's going to be a very funny episode as well.
Yeah.
So I've got that coming, and then besides that, being honest, bro, I really don't know. Just whatever comes up in the week, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple of weeks before Top Gun, so until Top Gun, nothing really drops. That's really worth checking out.
Yeah. Well, at some point I'm going to watch the first Top Gun because I've never seen it. So
okay,
I obviously want to watch that before because otherwise I wouldn't go see the sequel.
Yeah. Oh, I love. Yeah, that's one of my favorite '80s joints, man. I love Top Gun. Yeah, that's the movie that made Tom Cruise. Like that made him a household name. You know what I'm saying? So, love Top Gun. Yeah, as far as on my channel, I have I'm gonna be on a live stream with Jacob on Tuesday. We're gonna be talking Twins, which is funny. I just brought that up, and we're gonna be talking about that on Tuesday at what time? 8:00, I believe. So 8:00 Eastern time. Yeah, me and Jacob talking Twins. And then Thursday, I'm being joined by Rob from the Big Rob Theory. We're going to be talking about Incredible Hulk solo films. Really looking forward to that one. Yes. So look out for that one Thursday at 12 noon. We're going to be talking everything Hulk solo, from the Bill Bixby to Edward Norton. We're not going to cover the Ruffalo Hulk just because he was part of the ensemble. He never got his own movie yet, so right now he doesn't count. Okay, we're talking about the solo joints. All right. And after that, that's pretty much it. That's what I got going on and all that good stuff.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. The Twins live stream you'll be doing, I'll probably not be able to catch because if it's at 8:00 your time, it'll be like 1 a.m. my time. I'll be flat out to sleep.
Oh, you're gonna be out. Yeah, you're gonna be out too. Yeah. Which that's also my daughter's birthday. Because at first I was gonna kind of reschedule it, but I'm gonna be with my daughter all day anyway. So by 8:00, she's not even gonna be thinking about me. So
right.
I'll be able. Yeah, because she's turning 17. Teenagers, man, they don't give a fuck about their parents anymore. Once they reach that age, you know what I mean. So but I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to Twins and talking to Hulk and man. It's just a real good time to be a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying, son? So I'm gonna drink me a nice cold beer and watch me a little something and then go out. And that's the bottom line. And if you got a problem, you son of a bitch, you come and do it, say it to my face, cause Stone Cold said so. That hurts when I do that. I don't know how he does that. It keeps it so low. That hurts when I do that shit, man. All right. So everybody that came on, thank you for joining us, and join us in a few weeks, possibly. Like I say, maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, honestly, bro, give me a date and time. I'm there.
No doubt, man. All right, so we about to head on out. Mike from Did You See That? Rashad G signing out this motherfucker. See you in the next video.
Bye.